So hey guys, um, today we're going to check how to use Angular 8. Okay, this is an Angular 8 application together with Node.js and JSON Web Token to authorize and authenticate the user to use some features of our application or Angular application. Okay, so you can see we have three links. Okay, sign up, login, and this one. Okay, that if I click this one, it should redirect us to the main, but right now we don't have access because we need a JSON Web Token inside our application. Okay, so let's click sign up. You can see the sign up form here. Let's go to login. You can see the login form here. Okay, so for you to see that it redirects us, I'm in sign up. Okay, if I click here, check this part. Okay, we get redirected to the login because we don't have the headers. We don't have the JSON Web Token inside our storage. Okay, so that's why the application is telling us, well, you don't have access. I'm not sure if I'm logging something. I think I'm not. Okay, I was checking something else before I tried to record this, but I forgot to explain some things. So let's first see what we need. So this last one is going to be about Node.js. Okay, so inside Node.js we are going to install Express JSON Web Token and JSON Web Token. Okay, so you can see these ones with npm packages JSON Web Token. Okay, so you can install this with npm and Express on the GitHub auth0 Express JSON Web Token and install using this. Okay, so those two are helpers and the JSON Web Token in order to use them to send the token and verify it inside the Node.js and inside our Angular application. Let's go to the package JSON of our application. This one. So you can see we have all the Angular things here. So we only need this auth0 Angular JSON Web Token that we have inside this GitHub auth0 Angular 2 JSON Web Token. Okay, so you install it using npm install 0 out Angular auth0 Angular Web Token JSON Web Token. Okay, just like that, and we need to configure that. Okay, inside our application. So let's go to app module. So we need to do some things here. First of all, import our JSON Web Token module, and then we're going to create a getter function. Okay, this function is going to get the token from the local storage. So it's going to save it inside this access token. So we're going to call this function in order to return the item from the local storage that is named access token. Okay, down here, okay, I have these routes, but down here we need to use for route and to add a config. So from the JSON Web Token module we use the for route, add a function, and inside, okay, the object with this config object. So we're going to define here the getter, that is the function we have up here. Okay, the token getter. Here these just are the whitelist is from the domains that we're going to allow. Okay, and the blacklist the domains that we don't need, okay, to verify the tokens. Okay, so this is just a simple configuration. You don't need anything else. Here the important thing is the getter. Okay, that is going to check for the access token, and I didn't show you how it works, so let's go and see how it works. So I'm going to keep those ones open, refresh this. So if I log in, so I don't have any database. Okay, this is just hard-coded I think it's 6. Okay. Yep. So you can see here we get this long string that is actually our JSON Web Token, and we can go something like this. So this is not writing to anything else. So let's submit, and it's only going to console what we have. Okay, so title and content and our user, that is from the JSON Web Token. So that's the only thing we're going to do. Okay, but now notice that we have access to this. I don't have any other links here. I should have added something, but we can get this that send us this form, and we're allowed to send a post request to the Node.js server, and Node.js is accepting the post request because we have the JSON Web Token. Okay, so let's see how it works. Let's log out and let's check this login first, and the sign up is almost the same. So let me close this and let's go to login. You will see that this login is just a simple form. Okay, you will have the files, so you can check that more in detail. And inside this component, we're just going to set the login form to have the email and password fields. And on the login, when we click submit, we're going to call this auth service login function. Okay, that is coming from our auth service service. We're going to send the email and password, and let's see what that thing is doing. So we have this service. Okay, this is the login, the set user status, and the user status are just behavior subjects. Okay, well, only the user status is a behavior object, a behavior subject, sorry, and we're using the status in order to change these links, the sign up and login, in order to be the logout. Okay, and that's the only thing those things are doing. So let's check the, okay, this is the entire function, the login. So we're going to receive the email and password. Now we're going to send the headers, not send, sorry, but set the headers using the set function on the HTTP headers. The content type to be application JSON, because we need to send this, okay, for the Node.js to check. And this is the post request. So we're going to send a post request to the API login, API auth login. Okay, so this is going to okay, we will see that in a second, so I will explain that better. So we send the credentials, okay, the email and password, and the headers, that is just the content type application JSON. Then we're just going to subscribe here to get the response. Okay, we don't need to do it anywhere else. So what we're going to get here is a token response. Okay, so let's see now the route, the out route. So let's first go to the index for you to see what we have. We have just a regular Express application with cores. In this case, I have installed body parser, but you don't need to install that since Express already have the body parser added. So, of course, the JSON Web Token, you need the JSON Web Token and the Express JSON Web Token. Okay. So we're using cores, of course, because we are allowing a front end to access our API, so we need cores. Okay, let's see, I have the routes here, and we need to define the JSON Web Token for the Express application. Okay, so here we add the an object that is going to be our secret password, yeah, something like that. So this is going to use, and the Express is going to use this string in order to authenticate the JSON Web Token. Okay, So we are going to say unless the path is API auth, because we don't want the auth that receives the post for the login and sign up to well, to be checking for this. Okay, so it's blacklisting those routes so it doesn't check for the JSON Web Token. Okay, because there's no point in order to verify the web token on the sign up and login, because the user should have access to the sign up and login. That makes sense, right? So let's go to auth and we're going to see what we need. Okay, I have added here JSON Web Token, so that's why up here you can see that it's not being used. Okay, forgot to remove that. But here we are using JSON Web Token and we're going to check. So remember that with the login, okay, we are going to send, okay, we don't need this. So let me go to my service. Oh, it's removing the other one. That's not good. If I double click, that should stay. Okay, it opens. Okay. So, okay, here we are with the login inside our Angular application. Okay, so this is inside the service, the auth service. So remember that we're going to send this to the pull request to the API auth login. So let's see inside the auth.js what we have. We have the router that is going to handle the post to the auth login. Okay, of course we can console the headers. So I tried that. So these are the headers. Okay, all these. And as I said, I don't have a database that is checking for the users, but this is where you are going to add that. So here I'm just checking if the body of the request has the email to be set to this and the password to be set to this. Okay, that's only what is going on here. So in case you have a database, we are going to check if the user is inside your database. Okay, if it exists, and inside that, after you check that, you are going to set a new token. Okay, so this let token is going to sign a new token using the email, okay, from the user, in this case the body email. That is what we're getting, but you will use your let's say if you have I don't know, Firebase or Mongo, the ID of the user, the ID of the document, the user email, the username, whatever you want, that is what you're going to use. Okay, something that is related to the user. So that would be the ID, or in this case, we don't have an ID. We have something that is only for the user, that is the email. So we use the email, okay? And we use the word that we have, okay? I changed that we have inside our index for the JSON Web Token express, okay? So let's check that. Okay, it opens on another tab. That's nice. So this secret is going to be used together with the user, okay, in order to sign a new JSON Web Token and grant access. So we are going to respond with the token, okay. So we will see that in a second. You add your expiration and whatever you want. You can also refresh the tokens, okay. That is well, not that complex, but yeah, it's going to take some work. I didn't do that in this application, so this is just a simple demo, but you will send, in case you want to do that, you might want to add a timer inside your application, so you refresh every 2 hours or every hour and 15 every 1 hour and 59 minutes. Okay, so you would do that inside your Angular application or your front end, whatever you are using, and send after that a new refresh token, okay, a new request to refresh your token. So you would add another route that handles that and returns the new token, okay, and do whatever you want. So it's not that complex, but yes, it requires some fine tuning. So that's why I didn't do that here, but that's the process that you will need to follow. So as I said, we check the user, okay, the user exists. So you will check that inside your database if the user exists and sign a new token using something that the user has that is only available for him. Okay. The secret word that we have with our JSON Web Token inside Express, and we're going to respond with the 200 status, and we're going to send the token. Okay, so you can see that we received the first time we authenticated, we received this long string that is the token. Okay, else we're just going to send the 401 that is I think unauthorized. Yeah, I had it here, and just not allow the user to continue, because in the application we can only continue if we have the JSON Web Token. Okay, so let's actually do this step. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, in case let's add, let's say something like that, submit. You will see that we return an error. Okay, status text unauthorized, URL HTTP local from 8000. This is not API out login. Send us the status of unauthorized. Okay, because this doesn't exist inside our fictional database that is not really a database, but it's just this hard-coded authentication. So in case I do this with the correct information, I'm going to receive, okay, this long string that is our web token. Okay, so this already is stored inside our application. So let's check. We should have that. Okay, so you can see we have an access token. Okay, so okay, we already checked the login. In case is the sign up, we're going to do the same. Okay, so let's actually log out. You saw that it removed the JSON Web Token. We need to remove it by hand. Okay, so we need to remove that. The auth0 is not going to do it. So let's go to sign up and let's check what we have on the sign up. Okay, so you can see is the same. Okay, let me go to, we have login. Okay, we're going to check auth, that is the word, in a second. So after we end with this, so let's go to sign up. So you can see that this is just a regular form. It's the exact same form that we use for sign up and login, and it's just the exact same thing. The only thing is that we're going to call the sign up function. Okay, that is down here. Okay, receiving email and password, sending the content type, sending the user credentials to the auth sign up. This exact same thing. Of course, we're going to receive a new token, because when the user creates a new user, we want to sign him, okay, to log in the user right now. So if everything went right and the creation of the user went right, then we can assume that, is valid. So we send the token again with the expression again with the secret word again. You can store this on the environment variable. Okay, I don't have that installed, but you can add it using, I think it's not env. So let's take a look at that. Let's make a little sign up. Not env. Is that right? .m, sorry. This will allow you to use the .env, okay, like this. So I already showed that in my other Node applications. So don't worry, we're going to build things from scratch using Node. So I can show you how it works. But let me just tell you this. Since this is just a simple process, I didn't add or I didn't create a tutorial about this. Okay, so this is just about how to use, not how to use, yeah, how to use and the process that you need to follow. But in case I need to, or I create, I don't know, a post application that requires JSON authentication, then I will create a full tutorial using all these things. Okay. So yeah, let's continue. So we already sent that if the user sign up successfully. If not, well, if there's a problem with something, we just send the 401 status again and deal with it. Okay. So that's actually a sign up since it's using the same things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, lol. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's using the exact same things. I received the access token again. Can I? Okay. So you can see the name, the access token, and I can do all this crap again. So let's log out. Okay. So let's actually check the logout. That this is the last function we have that manages the authentication. Okay. So we're just going to log out this user logged out successfully. We're going to remove the access token. We're going to set the user status to null in order to change this, okay, to return to sign up and login. So I will show you that in a second. And navigate the user to the login. That's the only thing. The only important thing here is to remove the access token, because our application is checking for the access token. If you don't remove that, then the user is going to stay logged in. Okay, so let's go to, I think it's inside, not in the main. Okay, we're going to check the main in a second, but let me go to app component. So this is the user status. This is the behavior subject that I was talking about. So the behavior subject starts with I think null or as an empty. Okay, this is not easy. Is the no? This is it. It starts with nothing. Okay, as null, and we set the new I forgot the name of that. So we set user status to this next value of the user status. So the user status is going to be the token. Okay, you can add true, false, whatever. Okay, I'm just going to send the token and set that as the user status in order to show that the user is logged in. And we're going to subscribe to that inside our ng on init. Okay, and okay, status on refresh. Okay, we will see that. I think I have that, or did I delete it? Oh yeah, I have that. Okay, let me. Yes, right. Because I built these ones. Yeah, on refresh. Okay, I'm going to explain this now because we are here. After everything is done, okay, if we refresh our application, let's log in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's refresh. Okay, what this is doing, okay, let's make a little sign note. Well, let's continue with this, and I will follow this. Okay, sorry about that. So this is only checking the user status in order to. Sorry, I just tend to move from one thing to another, and like I'm just like that in real life. So I tend to move from one topic to another without any warning. So sorry about that. So we're going to check if the user status, in this case using the token, is set or not, and to show the sign up and login. And if the user status is set, then we are just going to check the logout, and these two are going to be removed from the view. Okay, so that's the only thing that the user status is doing. So now let's go to this, because as I said, if we refresh, we don't want to lose the status of the application. We want to see that if we have the access token still in the local storage. So what we are doing here is calling inside the okay, I hate that it, okay, using the ng after content checked, after everything is loaded inside our application, we're going to call this get status on refresh function, okay, from the auth service, that is going to check, hey, do we have the access token still inside the local storage? If we are able to get that, then it means that the storage is has, okay, the token. So we set this user status to the local storage get item token. Why? Because although it's going to check every time when we refresh the authentication, okay, the auth is checking that. So this is actually for the user status to continue to have this logout button here, instead of changing to the sign in and login. Okay, so let's move to the auth. That's the important thing. So how this is working, we're going to check if the local storage is inside our access token. This is pretty simple. Okay, that's the only thing. So this is going to run. Okay, that's why if you are used to use Firebase, you will need to add some other things right here in order to manage the state. Okay, the on state changed, but here, since this is running after every refresh, okay, and allow us to check if the item is there, we're going to just check if the local storage access token is there, return true, to allow the user to be authenticated and have all these changes so he can see this form. If not, we're just going to redirect the user to the login and continue with the state of the application. Okay, so let's go to routes, and I said this one is Angular 8. Where are my routes? Okay, here. Okay, you can see I even have had this one with Angular 7. I changed all this, so you can see it's just it doesn't have other changes. So I'm going to upload something with custom tokens from Firebase, and I didn't change that to Angular 8 because what I did with this is to change it with Angular to Angular 8 to see if there were any other changes, okay, in the application, but no. So this is the only change, using the module imports, and that's the only thing. So we can still use can activate just like that. We don't have anything to worry about it, and that's the only thing. It's going to use the outward that we have imported inside this can activate and load the module, okay, the main module, and that's it. So let's take the last part of this review, that is going to be how this thing works. Okay, so let's go to main, My component is just a simple form. The submit, okay, is going to send, or it's going to run this create post with the form data, send the content application JSON, and we're just going to send the post. Okay, you actually don't need to do this. Yeah, because this is already set. In case you're going to refresh the token, okay, I think that is what is going on. That's why I'm setting again the token. So we're going to see, because I built this one a long time ago, we're going to see the route post. So yeah, we don't need, we actually don't need this. I was going to do another, okay, let me close all this crap that is fucking with my head. And this is the out, I don't need that. And no, I need the main, not this, because all that is being done inside the main. So you actually don't need this, don't need to set the local, okay, just need to, I don't know, console that log the response, let's say that, and let's see, okay, we still are here, so let's see what we get. So let's go to the console, submit. Okay, we don't have anything because we're not responding with anything, so that was my bad. Why is well, I thought I had that open. Okay, so here we are. Close this. Okay, so in fact I'm not responding with anything from create post. Okay, so there's nothing to set there. I just wanted to remove this so you can see that it's not needed. Okay, in fact we receive the information there. So here I'm going to do something, okay, in order to check that we have a valid JSON Web Token. But this is the route, the create post, that we're going to send the request to localhost 8000 post and create post, okay, from our Angular 8 application using the content type, I mean the headers and the title and content from the form, okay. We subscribe to the response. In this case, we're not receiving anything, so fuck that. We are going to send maybe, I don't know, form submitted, just to see that this is actually working. So let's say blah, 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 blah. Submit. Okay, we don't have anything there because that should be the response. But you can see that we have all the information here that I just typed. So that is working together with the user. So we are almost at the end, okay? And this is actually the end. So I just added something here so I didn't forget. Okay, I'm going to remove the can activate from the route so you can see. But what this is going to do, the out JSON Web Token that we installed inside Angular, that I just deleted. Okay, this one is going to send the headers. Okay, so we're going to check the authorization header, so that is going to be sent using the JSON Web Token. Okay, this helper, let me see the name, of course, you can see auth0 Angular 2 JSON Web Token. So that is going to send the header, the authentication header for us. We don't need to do that. And in case there's no authentication header, meaning that there's no JSON Web Token, okay, the user is not authorized, we're going to send the status 403 that is not authorized and just a message, okay, and return that. So this actually is going to return something. So let me move down here and say response. So this should be the. So let's say that. Okay, you can see that we keep the status of the user. So, and in case we have the authorization, we're going to verify the token that is valid. So we're going to say from the authorization header, split that when you find a space, okay, and it's going to have the bearer. Okay, it's going to be like this. So let me say it's going to be bearer and space and then the token. Okay, so this is going to split this into two parts after the space. So this is going to be 0 index and number 1 inside the index. Okay, that's why we're going to set the 1 because we want the token, we don't need the bearer. Okay, and we're going to verify if the token that we just split is valid. So we use our super secret word, and in case it's an error, we're going to send the status, sorry, the token is not valid. Okay, the token we have or is already well, it's not valid. No, it is I forgot the word, expired. Okay, and we're going to receive another thing, another parameter that is the decoded. Okay, and we're going to send the decoded. The decoded is only showing us the information that has the JWT token, that is the user. That's why we are receiving the user here, okay, because we're sending the decoded information with that. So you can see this, the title, content, and what we have inside that token. Okay, so I'm going to remove the can activate from the routes. Let me see. Okay, let me remove this, save that, let's log out. So you can see if okay, this is working, sign up, login, and this that redirects us to the form. Okay, before we were checking the using the auth, okay, the outward, we were checking for the JWT token, but now we are not doing so. Then we're going to, well, let's say second pause and all that crap and submit. Okay, but something wrong happens. Okay, there's an error. This HTTP localhost 8000 post create post is going to send the forbidden, okay, as a status text. You can see here inside the error, and we don't receive anything. Why? Because we don't have a valid JSON token. We don't have a JSON token. So let's close this. I'm going to keep this one, and just to say, so this is actually what I was explaining before, that in case the user have access to this, if we block anything else verifying the token, okay, and checking for the authentication from the authorization, then the user cannot send a post request to our well, it can send a post request, but Node.js is not going to handle that, okay, because we are checking the authorization header, and in case it's an authorization header, we are also going to verify the token. Okay, so we're doing two things there, checking if the authorization is there and checking if the token is actually valid and not expired. Okay, and here inside this, okay, let's say safe space, okay, you are going to handle all the things you want. Okay, in case the user is valid, the authentication is valid, the token is there, and all that crap. So let me return the can activate there, and since we are not logged in, it's going to check, hey, what the fuck are you doing there? And it's going to redirect us to the login again. Okay, so that's it. It's a simple configuration inside your application. Just sending push requests to send the email and password. You're going to verify the user in your routes, okay, in your out route. You're going to verify your user that is valid and sign a new JSON Web Token, and protect your routes, verifying that the header, the authorization header is there, and that the token is authenticated, okay, that the token is valid, not expired, and you know, all that crap. So that is how you can handle your application security using JSON Web Tokens. So maybe I will build something with Node, mini stack, using JSON Web Token, so you can see something more real. But this is going to help you. You will get the files also, but this is going to help you to understand where and how to handle the authorization verification of the token, and where to add your users, okay, to verify your users, and all your safe space in order to work with everything that you need to work to send the responses, to the not API but to the front end. So I think that's it. And in case you have any doubt, anything, just let me know, and see you on the next one.